Now, within the next few minutes, I'll be showing you exactly how you can analyze the chart to trade for literally over 99% accuracy. And in doing this, I'll be showing you every single trade we ever took from the 1st of December through to the trades running currently now as we speak, among which most are sniper entries with little to zero retracement. By the end of this video, you should be able to replicate this exact same result. If you're new to the Scalper YouTube channel, just remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping out from this place. So that not to waste so much time, let's dive in now. Boom. All right, okay guys, so this is exactly what we'll just be doing. Just remember guys, just like I already told you, all we'll just be doing is actually very simple and straightforward. So I'll just be showing you the entirety of the analysis of this particular trade. That's including our risk management, that's our take profit levels, our stop loss levels, what we're actually seeing in the market as regards the entire analysis of the chart. Now of course I actually dropped some other easier ways of trading this particular stuff, right? Because we actually use some other easier ways, which I already dropped the video as regards that. You can literally check that out. But then the sake of this video is just the entirety of our analysis process. That's every single thing included, right? So that's just exactly what we'll be doing now. So we'll just be checking out all the trades from the beginning of December, right, through to today's date, which is actually the 19th of December, just almost 3 weeks, right? Just roughly 3 weeks, right? So that's exactly what we'll just be checking out. Okay guys, so this is exactly what we're having. So we'll just be starting from December 2nd. Now December 1st was actually Sunday, right? So because of that, we can't really start from there. All right, so this is exactly what we're having. Now this was the first trade that we actually dropped on XAUUSD gold, and then if you check it out, this was what we're having, gold buy push, right? And then this was actually roughly our entry point at about the spot. And then this way actually they take profit levels, right? And then after that we actually dropped for US100. All right, so that what we were actually having here was actually very smooth. You can literally see this movement. So that the particular chart actually just pushed out from this particular level, right? You can literally just see that it actually took off through to this particular level, right? Now it was on an uptrend, and then we know that gold has been on an uptrend. Of course, it gives some retracement, sometimes drops down and then continues going up and just things like that, right? And then what we actually having here was actually very smooth, right? So we noticed that this chart was actually just pushing up smoothly like that, right? That's what we actually noticed, right? Just started pushing up smoothly on a nice uptrend, and then after that something very nice actually occurred. It simply dropped down below these are movements at about this region, after which it got towards a particular spot which was actually around the zone. You can literally see that. Okay, let me just map that out quickly for you to see, which are just around the zone, right? So it actually hit this particular spot, right? After which it actually pushed up. This was actually our second step, right? So if you watch our videos, you understand perfectly what I mean by second step, right? So it actually hits a second step, after which it had to bounce back up, right? Now, that's not just the interesting part. The interesting part is that it literally broke above this other level here, which was now a nice resistance, right? Because if you track it out again, let me just show you that. If you track it out again, you should actually see it, right? So this was actually now a nice resistance at about the spot, right? And then it broke above this particular resistance zone at about the spot, right? You can literally see it simply broke out, and after that it dropped back down again around the spot to actually give a normal retest, normal standard retest, right? Now after that, what did it do? We just simply gave the trade and stormed into this particular trade, right? And so almost instantly first take profits was actually hit, right, just at around this region, right, just at about this region. And then this particular trade, of course, after that was actually shared in the free channel so that others can actually join the trade also. Then this was still day 2, right? So all the movements, they just kept playing around like this until we got to day 3. If we check out for NASDAQ now, this is exactly what we're having. So this was actually where we went to the trade, and then this was actually a take profits and stop loss levels. But this was exactly the trade that we actually stormed in. But then just before that, how we actually went into this trade was very simple and very straightforward, right? So we actually already know that NASDAQ has been pushing up, right? So it kept pushing up, it's just been pushing up nicely, right? So if we check it out now, what we just noticed was this was our first touch, this was the second. We will know, or we already know what happens on third touches, which was actually this. Only this time it got rejected and then it pushes up, right? Now immediately as it pushed up towards a particular region, what can you literally see at about this spot? You can literally see that this particular stuff was having two different formations at the same time, right? Now guys, remember, we actually dropped quite some videos also that actually gave even easier explanations of this stuff, even how to use indicators and all of them to take trades like this, right? Now, if we look at this particular stuff, what we're actually having was actually a downward channel, right, to start with. And aside that, we're actually having what now? A flag at about this region, right? Just a flag at about that region. And then what did you notice? It pushed up towards particular range, gave a downward channel. Downward channel will always make a chart push up, right? Now, after that, what did you notice now? We noticed that this particular stuff literally pushed up above this region, aside it being a flag also. It pushed up above this region, and then what did you notice occurred there? A retest, right? So it dropped back down, gave a retest, after which it pushed up towards particular region. Now, immediately as it was taking off towards particular region, all we just simply did was to actually just stomp into this particular trade, right? And so that was how you saw that we actually dropped this particular trade there. And then we just noticed that it kept pushing up smoothly like this. So that if we check that out, I guess all our take profits, they were actually hit nicely, right? So smooth TP1 and damage, that's US100. If you check it out, so this was actually where our take profit 1 was actually damaged, just at about this region. Let's check that out again. So our take profit 1 was smashed just at about this region. I guess take profit 2 was just at about the spot, and then this was actually take profit 3, right? So that if we check that out again, this was exactly what we're having. And then after that, gold, like we already saw, gold was actually pushing at about the spot, right? And then this was actually still gold, right? When the TP1 was actually smashed there, and then this was actually the NASDAQ now, where all our take profits were actually smashed, right? So you can literally just see that, right? So all TPs, they were actually smashed smoothly just like that, right? Now you can literally just see that, right? So this was a TP1, TP2, TP3, and usually, guys, we actually have a culture in our channels, that's private and free channel. Whenever all our take profits are hit, we don't just run out of the trade, right? We actually start locking in our profit, right? So that we can actually cash out even more. And so what we did there was we actually just did the same thing. Now we engage locking in profit, right? Now we engage locking in profit. So no wasting of pips, right? Because come on, guys, we can't analyze the chart and just let pips waste just like that. So because of that, we just started locking in our profit. And if you notice that, we just kept moving like that. This chart actually just kept flying and just kept moving smoothly like that. So that was actually for day 3, right? Now, mind you, all of the trades that you'll be hearing me talking about now, I actually shared everything in a free channel, right? Okay, so this was actually the second day. I dropped the analysis here first, right? This was purely on the free channel. I dropped the analysis here, as you can see, and then after that, this was analysis for gold, this was an analysis for US100, and then after that, I actually had to drop it when first take profit that was hit, right? That's the trade moved a little bit, and I dropped it. Now, before I used to drop it just basically at the same time, right? But then a lot of guys started complaining, Mr. P, why would you do such a thing? Why would you drop it at the same time? So because of that, and now I just wait. Okay, first take profit hit, or at least the chart moves to some extent. After that, then I drop it also in the free channel. So that if you notice it, we actually dropped it here so that every single person can actually just join, right? And then after that, we actually noticed that the chart now started moving. This was actually the gold. It was dropped here also, as you can see. And then what we just noticed was this was when that was when the gold was actually hit. I dropped it even before the first take profit was hit here, and then I shared it again when the first take profit was hit. So everyone that was here, they actually cashed out, right? As you can see, over 7,000 people actually saw that. And then if you joined us, okay, so you actually understand that movement because it just kept pushing up, right? On NASDAQ also, and then boom, all our take profits were now hit at about this region. Perfect. All TPs now damaged successfully, right? So I shared that here also for those that would have joined us also from the free channel, because I shared this. Remember, I shared this at this particular spot where the first take profit was hit. So the second take profit, those on the free channel, they caught that. The third take profit, those on the free channel, they actually caught that. And you can see it was still flying at about that region. And all of these, they were all on the first day. That's December 2nd, right? And so I just had to make sure to remind everyone to keep locking in profits also in the free channel, right? I had to just remind everyone. And so now let's go for day 3. What happened on day 3, that's December 3rd, wasn't really a lot. What we just had here was that we actually just have to stomp into some more positions on gold, right? The reason was simple. If you look at this particular stuff, you can literally just see, right? So it was playing around this region. Suddenly it pushed above this spot, gave the first rejection, second rejection, and then a third rejection. We already know what happens on third touches, right? So immediately after a third rejection, we are actually expecting a huge movement to actually occur. So this was actually 3rd of December, right? So this was exactly what started happening. just around the spot, right? So we started seeing a lot of movement, right? So it started pushing up, right? Almost hitting a third take profit level, but well, a second take profit level, but it just never hit a second take profit level, right? It just kept playing around and playing around until day 3 was done. That's 3rd of December, right? So it was just done. And then for NASDAQ, what occurred on a NASDAQ was this. It actually just pushed up and then it kept playing around this region. You can just see that, right? Throughout the day 3, that's December 3rd, it kept playing around this region, right? So there was really no entry point again, right, to add more positions. So you can literally see that this was all that occurred on a December 3rd. And of course, we're still massive profit. So for our day 4, this was exactly what we had. 3rd day of holding US100 NASDAQ. Now the perfect time to stomp into some more positions. Now, we actually had a nice movement at about the spot, and then boom, we had another opportunity to stock into even some more positions, and because of that, we actually just had to do that. Now, this is exactly what happened. So we stocked into some more positions at about the spot, and you can see why already, right? Now, this particular stock pushed above this region, came back to give a standard retest. It was already creating in what they call a sub trend at about the spot. Because of that, well, there was really nothing to wait for, right? So we just had to stomp into this particular trade just at around this region, right? After that, you can literally just see what happened, right? It just kept taking off smoothly, just like that, right? It just kept pushing up towards a particular level like this at about the spot, because this was where day 4 actually ended. This was actually the movement on the NASDAQ, but let's actually check out our US30 first, right? So we actually gave a fresh trade on US30. What actually occurred there was actually simple. We actually had that the chart was actually just pushing like this. Let me just show you that. Let me take it back. Boom. You saw this, right? First rejection, okay, second. And then now, even though these were signs that the chart was just going to drop, after that, I noticed that it pushed up. It started having some crazy bearish, crazy bullish momentum, right? Now, that was exactly what started happening at about the spot. Now, immediately after seeing that, I was like, okay, now this is fine. We can easily storm into this particular trade. And then we placed in a first take profit around this region. First take profit, second take profit was around this region. Okay, around this region. And then a third take profit was actually at this spot where you can actually see, right? Now, what actually occurred was this. When we stopped into this particular trade here, what occurred was it actually pushed up to actually hit a first take profit. Perfect. TP1 now smashed successfully a few minutes ago, US30 Dow Jones, right? Now, so our first take profit was actually smashed nicely like that. The only problem now was we now started encountering some crazy momentum at this particular spot, right? After which it actually just dropped down, right? It actually just dropped down because we were targeting this level. And mind you, almost every single trade you are seeing there on average of over 3:1, right? So if you can see, like, this risk reward ratio here also is actually like 3.41. So most of them are just over 3:1. So that what we actually had here now, it actually just dropped down, after which it actually just went to hit our stop loss, right? You can just see that, right? Now, after that, what we noticed was it later pushed up, right? This was actually okay, I guess this was now, okay, this was day 4. Let's see, that was day 4, right? So on day 4, it actually finally pushed up to hit a third take profit, but it had already tapped on a stop loss, right? So because of that, we picked just one take profit from that, and we just had to watch for the next trade. Storming into other trades, right? So this was actually a NASDAQ now that was still moving. So this was a previous trade, right? So this was where we stormed into a trade, and this was actually what occurred later on. So you can literally just see that, right? Yeah. So after that, what we noticed was a XAUUSD gold. I guess a XAUUSD gold also hit. Yeah, a XAUUSD gold now had to hit a take profit 1 and 2. So you can see that the movement actually just went to smash a second take profit at about that spot to 4th of December. So look at that. So it actually just pushed up to this particular range and then smashed a second take profit. So now on December 4th, we actually had a first and second take profit on gold smashed just like that, right? And I guess that was the end of 4th of December day. Remember, guys, all of these trades were actually shared also in the free channel, just in case, right? There were actually no formations for December 5th, so we just skipped straight to December 6th. Right now, we just gave another trade on US30. Those are actually a buy push trade. We actually had a massive bullish engulfing candlestick here, right? And then after which we had another confirmation at about the spot. So what was supposed to occur was simple. It was supposed to drop down towards particular range at about the spot, right? After which the map out a range just around this region, right? Because this was actually a nice resistance level, right? You can see that the first, second, and then this was the top touch. Now, it was supposed to push above this region. So what actually occurred here was actually a news event or so, which of course can be unpredictable, right? Most time, right? So I guess that was actually what occurred here, right? A news event actually took place. After that, boom, it actually had to reverse the trade and then just started dropping down, and it just kept dropping down, right? It just kept dropping down after that. And so we just had to leave the chart alone for the meantime. Aside from US30 on December 6th, we actually dropped a fresh trade on NASDAQ again. That's US100, and that was actually on December 6th, right? So we are still looking for more buys, right? Even after catching all of this movement, right? All of this particular movement, we're still looking for some more buys. So what occurred here was this: we had a major rejection around the zone, so it only made sense for this stuff to play around, come back towards around the zone again, and then get rejected towards the top, right? So all we just did was waited for this stuff to push above this region again, which it did. Mind you, the major breakout occurred just around this region, right? Just around this region. That was when the major breakout occurred. And then this was still let me just put that. This was actually still on December 6th, right? The 6th day of December. Now, this was where the major breakout occurred, right? You can literally see that. It's just that we didn't storm into this particular trade the exact time, right? We didn't really storm into this particular trade the exact time. If we had caught it from here, it would have even been much more nicer. But then, this was actually the movement. So it pushed up from this particular zone. And then, after seeing this particular trade, this stuff was supposed to keep pushing up, right? But then, unfortunately, if we check out this particular stop, it actually did not, right? So it just kept playing around this region, and then this was on a Friday. So I'm just going to show you exactly what occurred later, but then technically none of our take profits was actually hit as of this Friday. So we just had to hold the trade through the weekend, right, through to the next day, through to the next Monday. And so if we check out for our December 9th now, which was now the Monday, that was exactly when our take profit was not hit. You can literally see that, right? So it actually just pushed up to hit our first take profit like that. So that was actually December 9th. So this was actually where our first take profit was not hit. This was actually around the range of our second take profit, and of course that was actually a third take profit at about that spot. So we actually had that our first take profit was just hit at about this spot, right? So this was actually where our first take profit was hit, and then we're expecting that this stop should just keep pushing up, but nope, it actually just dropped down to hit a stop loss after that, right? So yeah, so we actually just picked only one take profit just at around that region. And so if we check out for our next trade, so we actually dropped another fresh trade on gold around this region. So this was actually the trade, right? So this was actually just the trade. And then if we check out this stuff now, this was actually our take profit levels and all. So we'll storm into this trade, and then we'll storm into this particular trade just around this region, right? So just around this region. That was where we stormed into this particular trade, right? Just at about this region, right? Now, in storming into this particular trade, smoothly, it actually just went to hit a first and second take profit, right? It actually just pushed up nicely. You can literally see that movement. That movement was actually very, very smooth. So it actually just pushed up to hit a first and second take profit. After which, it just kept playing around this region, right? And then it actually got to the next day, which we'll get to now. But then after that, it dropped down also to give some retracement, which we can actually easily benefit from, right? That was just more like free pips, right? Just like the chart giving us free pips. You know what that means, right? So if we check it out now, what actually occurred there was this. So we dropped our XAUUSD trade, and then this was actually where our take profits, first take profits was actually hit, right? TP1 smashed successfully, and then after that, TP1 and 2 actually got smashed. So this was TP1, TP2, they actually got smashed successfully there also. And after that, of course, we never had any other TP smashed around that region. So we just have to wait for the next day. And so in waiting for the next day, okay, consider, okay, now in waiting for the next day, December 10th, that was exactly where all our take profits were now hit, and then now we're locking profits. You can literally see that, right? It's all of these trades that you can actually see here, they were also shared in the free channel. So let me just quickly show you that before we continue, right? So you can see that, okay, so that was December 3rd. And so this trade there was actually shared for December 3rd, right? So that trade from December 3rd was actually shared there, and everyone that actually stormed into the trade actually cashed out. And so this was actually the third day of holding a NASDAQ then, right? The trade that we actually went into on NASDAQ, that's 3rd of December. And so this for our US30 actually dropped the formation for our US30 here, also working with a 15 minutes time frame. That was dropped also on the free channel. And so if we keep going, so this was actually a US30 also when our first take profit was smashed, right? It was also shared in this place. And then I actually told everyone here in the free channel also to add some more trades, right? To add some more trades. That's for a NASDAQ, and those that actually added some more trades, that of course they actually cashed out, right? So I'm like, did you join us on the wave continuation US100 NASDAQ? So if you did, you should be in heavy profits by now. So I actually just dropped that. And so we're still pushing on the NASDAQ. I dropped an update so that every single person there can actually just keep cashing out, right? So nobody's actually scared to run out of the trade, right? So yeah, so that was it. And so these were all the updates. So TP1 and 2 now smashed. This was actually for December 4th, right? That's the trade for December 4th. That was actually shared there. And for December 6th, okay, so that was a video, okay, a video, and then boom. So December 9th, we actually had this particular trade also shared here, right? That's for gold. That particular trade was also shared here. It has to move a little bit first before sharing it here, so that nobody is actually complaining, right? So it has to move a little bit first. Okay, so it was actually shared here also. That's the gold trade, right? You can literally see that. And so those that actually joined, they actually caught both the TP1 and the TP2 that was actually smashed on that same day. That's December 9th. You can literally see that. If you joined us, yeah, rush down to the chart now. I say here's the good massive move there. Okay, let's actually continue now. On 10th of December, that was where all our take profits were now hit. You can literally see that. Let me just quickly show you that. Then we started locking in profit. So this was where all our take profits were now hit. This was actually the 10th of December. All our take profits were hit, and now we kept locking in our profit, right? So it actually just kept pushing up after that, right? You can literally just see this movement. It actually just kept pushing up after that. So we left this trade just around this region. So we're still pushing on gold, remain locked in. So I told everyone to remain locked in, and yeah, this was where I actually said everyone should zoom out. That's it on gold, guys. Time to shut down all trades and cash out. No peep wasted, right? So actually dropped that and actually see what occurred. Boom, it actually just dropped against like that. So it's actually good to tell everyone to zoom off the trade, right? So we actually had a massive drop towards the bottom, and then after that, I guess this was now the 11th, December 11th, right? So we actually dropped another trade on gold, which was actually this, right? You can see that this was actually the trade we dropped on gold. On a 15 minute time frame. These are actually a take profit levels also. So what actually occurred here, how we stormed into this trade, was this movement that helped us, right? So when it pushed towards per class spot and then it got rejected at around the zone, right? Let me just show you that. When it got rejected at around the zone, that was actually very, very nice for us, right? We're like, oh, good, thank you. Now we were able to just easily storm into this per class trade using that movement, right? After hitting this per class zone, we knew that, boom, that was actually a major retest that occurred. It pushed out of the zone, came back to this particular major retest, what we call order blocks, right? So this is actually a mini order block at around this region. It actually hit this mini order block. After that, what do you think will happen? So just start pushing up, right? We always mention this particular stuff on our videos, right? So this is actually the retracement of our order block. After that, it pushed up to this particular spot. So what we just did, we just stopped into this particular trade just around this region, right? Just around this region. And then after that, what did we notice? It actually just started pushing up smoothly like that. Same on 11th of December. So this was where we actually had the chart was actually taking off, right? And so this was okay, so that was actually still NASDAQ. So this was where our take profit one was actually smashed. After that, of course, I actually shared the trade also so that other people can actually join. And after others joined, you actually saw the movement, right? So it just actually kept pushing smoothly like that. You can actually just see that movement, right? So the trade, I dropped it here in the free channel, and so after that, it pushed up to this particular region to hit our first and second take profit. And then let's actually just check. So yeah, this was where all our take profits were not smashed on our gold, right? So I dropped the trade at about this region. It pushed up to this particular spot, hit this particular zone also, and then after that, now we engage full locks, right? As usual, right? Just as usual. So we'll start locking in our profit from that. But then we didn't just give that trade. Let's actually check out for our NASDAQ also, right? So this was actually a NASDAQ. So this was where we stormed into this particular trade just around this region, right? And of course, these are all our take profit levels. So just similar stuff actually occurred on a NASDAQ here, right? So that we were, if we should try mapping out the stuff now, you should see exactly where I went into this trade. Let me just try mapping that out a little bit more, right? Good. So this was exactly what happened, right? It pushed up, came back to give a mini retest at about this spot, right? So after giving the retest, it actually just started flying, right? And so we saw the trade when it was already flying because, well, it was just what it is, right? So it was already flying at about this region, and so we had to stop into this trade just around the spot. This might not be the exact spot. We actually had that this particular stop just started pushing up from around this range, right? And after that, what did you notice, right? It's actually just pushed. I get this actually hit a first and second take profit. We are flying already now on NASDAQ, so this was actually it. So it actually just started taking off from that region, right? So I guess I actually shared this particular trade from the spot even before hitting the first take profit. I guess I actually shared this on the free channel, right? Even before hitting the first take profit, right? Just like a movie, I shared it so that every single person can cash out. And so after that, this was actually the first take profit. This was when a first take profit was damaged, and then it actually just kept pushing up smoothly like that. You can actually just see that, right? And then if we keep going down, that was actually gold. This was actually gold also. Yes, so this was where a first and second take profit was actually not damaged. Mind you, those on the free channel, they were already in this trade. I'm going to show you that now also, right? So they were already in this trade, already cashing out smoothly like that. And so this was gold, where all our take profits were actually smashed like that. And so if we go on December 13th now, right? On our December 13th, but then just before going on December 13th, let me just show you all I was saying, right? So this was actually December 10th, where we actually shared the trade on the gold, right? This was where all our take profits were not smashed, right? Remember, we took the trade over, right, from this region, right? So we took the trades over. Yeah, we had a first and second take profit. So already after the first take profit, everyone here, they were already in the trade, cashing out. That was also roughly over 7,000 traders that saw this particular stuff, right? And so yeah, so this was on December 10th after the, so this was where a take profit was not hit. That's a 3 take profit. And then I actually made sure I highlighted it here also. Now we lock in profit. This was actually exactly 22 hours hold as at when we dropped this trade. So we're holding the trade for exactly 22 hours. And so after that, so yeah, that was when I said that there. And so this was actually still the December 10th. We're pushing on gold, no wasting of pips. We're still locking in, right? So if you joined us, that's on the third wave as stated, you should be in massive profit, right? So that was when that was dropped. So literally every single stuff, they were actually dropped, guys. They were actually dropped around this region. So if you check this out now, so this was actually stay it, right? Time to shut down all trades and cash out. So I actually told everyone to shut down all the trades here. That was on December 10th. Also, right, so I actually literally told everyone everything here also on the free channel. So you can literally see this. We're flying already on a NASDAQ. That's US100, so we're flying there, and that was when I actually dropped the trade also, right? So I remember I told you I dropped it even before the first take profit was hit. So all those that were actually available there, they actually stormed into this particular trade even before hitting first take profit, right? So they stormed into the trade, and then I guess okay, so this was actually an update on gold also. And then this was when a first take profit was not hit. So everyone, they were already in the trade. First take profit was hit. They were still in the trade. And then after that, you can literally just see our movement, right? So TP1 also not smashed. That was actually on a gold. And then yeah, so that was on a gold. This was also on a gold. And so every single update was dropped here, guys. Every single update. This was when our first take profit 1 and 2 were smashed on a gold also. What we're actually having here is at December 13th. And then what we're actually having now is this. We gave our US100 NASDAQ buy push. And then this was the trade, right? This was actually the trade. And then these were take profit and stop loss levels. And look at this, guys. Now, we still had our trade running because, guys, this customer had hit our first and second take profit, don't forget, right? But then we actually still had the trade running, right? So it was almost hitting us a third take profit. So what we just did was to actually just give a fresh position because the trade was now becoming so long. Look at all of this movement, guys. So I just had to drop a fresh position for those that might have left the trade and things like that. So, and for those that are still in the trade, to actually just add more position. So I just had to drop it as a fresh entry. Then dropping it as a fresh entry, we stormed into this speculative trade just around this region while we still have this entire trade here running. So we stormed into the speculative trade just around this region. After storming into the speculative trade, boom, our third take profit was actually hit on a previous entry, right? After that, what occurred here was actually a huge movement towards the top. Now, this huge movement movement actually hit our first and second take profit, right? Smoothly, just like that, right? Because let me just show you that. So our first take profit was around this region, right? Because we already had trades running, so it wasn't supposed to be a lot because this is just 2.3, right? You can see that risk reward ratio was just 2.3. So we ain't trying to make a lot because we already had trades running, right? So we're just also trying to apply good risk management, especially for those that are still in this trade, that we're still in this Breakout trade, right? So we just dropped just a little stop. So our first take profit was just around this region, second year, and then our third take profit was just around this region, so that we can actually just cash out also smoothly like that. And so it pushed up smoothly, hit our first, hit our second take profit, and after that it actually just reversed, right? It actually just reversed like that. But that was still cool because our first our first entry, which was actually this, had already completed, that was already gone. And then our second entry, our first take profit was already out, second take profit was already out, so we had just one more take profit to cash out before this actually just reversed the case stores. Of course, I actually shared that also in the free channel, right? So you can just see that tip 1 and 2 now completely terminated, US100 NASDAQ. And so after the weekend, December 16th, right? So this was what we're having. So we dropped another trade, XAUUSD gold buy push. So this was what we're having, and so this was the trade, right? So this was actually the trade, and of course this was actually a take profit and stop loss level. If we map out a trend like this, what we should be having was actually a nice breakout just at about the spot, right? So technically this stuff was supposed to push up, which it did, of course. It's just we didn't storm into this Breakout trade at this time, but then it was still good to storm into this trade here, right? It was still good to storm into this trade here, and once more the news actually just came in, and I guess it actually took it out. Now this was actually supposed to push up right smoothly, because look at this also, guys. Now if we try mapping this particular stuff out from this spot, you can literally see that after pushing up to the spot, it gave a nice retest at about the spot, and then it pushed above the spot, it gave another nice retest at about the spot, right? So we're actually having our steps nicely like that. And so after that, what we noticed was this. If I try mapping this out now, you can literally see what we're having here at about this region, right? So this was actually a nice resistance level. So we're expecting that, okay, this stuff can just push up smoothly to hit at least a first take profit first, and then maybe waste like 24 hours or around our range, 20 hours, maybe like roughly a day or so, and then it goes and hits our remaining take profits. That was actually the plan. But unfortunately, it actually just reversed against us. This was where things became interesting. It was actually still very good to storm in, but then not for a long time, just a scalping trade. So I actually just simply wrote it, just chill. We're just going to go in for a re-entry. Let me just show you that we hold for the now to go into XAUUSD gold for a re-entry. Now that re-entry will actually just it will just make it be like there was actually a no loss for that day also, because that will actually just cover up for everything. I will just take us to even and add a little, bit of profit also to cover out for the losses. So that won't actually be a loss on its own after covering it, after covering up for it. This was actually what we did. We just waited for it to drop down, right, without any issues at all. Now in dropping down, it has to hit this level here, right? This is a major level of support at about this spot. You can see that, right? Now after hitting a major level of support, it has to bounce back towards a normal level of breakout, right? It's just a normal structure, right? It breaks, it leaves a normal level of support and bounces back up to a major level of resistance, which we already know should occur. So because of that, we're just chilled. Okay, you want to hit stop loss, fine, hit the stop loss, we'll just go in and recover it back. So went in again at about the spot, we used some nice stop loss levels, and then it actually just played around, pushed up to hit our take profit again. This was when that was actually hit. So this was the re-entry of the trade, right? So actually just gave the range at about the spot, and then this was okay. So that was NASDAQ. We'll come back to that now. This was actually the TP1 was actually smashed, right? So this was actually the trade, and so this actually just recovered back every single stuff there, because we're using the exact same risk reward ratio at about that region, right? But let's see. So went into our US100 also on December 16th, and this was actually the trade that went into on December 16th on US100. We actually had that this particular stop just played around this region. Remember, this is a normal level of resistance at about the spot. It's actually just played around this region, after which it broke out of the spot, right, after creating series of steps. Remember, first step, second, third step, and then this became the fourth. After the fourth step, it broke out of the region, right? You can literally see that it just took off from this region. It came back to a particular spot and then started giving us a major rejection. After that, we just stopped into this particular trade just around this region, right? Just around this region. And then it pushed up, hit our first take profit, I guess was around the spot, and then our second take profit was just around this region also. And then after that, it actually just started playing again at about this spot, right? But then we already caught our first and second take profit. If you can literally see that TP1 had damaged a few minutes ago. So this was when our take profit 1 was actually smashed around this region. That was actually our first take profit. And then let's actually just check his stuff out. Okay, so this was when we gave the re-entry. So let's leave that for the now. Okay, so this was actually where our take profit 1 and 2 was not smashed. So this was the first take profit. This was actually now our second take profit. On the 17th day, we actually had that take profit 1 and 2. They were not smashed on our gold, right? You can literally see that, right? So this was actually our first take profit level. Our second take profit level was just around the spot, right? So we're able to catch 2 take profits, right? 2 take profits smoothly like that on that movement. So if we should go back there again on our gold, this was what we're having. So right, so we went into a trade at about this region. I guess our first take profit was just at about this zone, right? Just at about this zone or so. And then our second take profit was around the spot, of course. And then our third take profit wasn't that far away, because by then, remember, the mission was just to recover back what we lost around the spot, right? So that was the mission. So we recovered at about this range, right, already, right? And then we added some more profits at about this spot, and then we just wanted to add some more profits on a third take profit, but it actually didn't hit a third take profit, I guess. So this was actually on December 17th, right? So you can literally see that, right? So it actually just went through to our December 17th to hit a second take profit smoothly like that. So that if we actually check this stuff out now again, this was day 2 of storming into NASDAQ. So we're still holding a NASDAQ, and so there was supposed to be a second wave because it dropped down, and now it's supposed to keep pushing up smoothly like that. So I literally just dropped this, yeah, right? Also, I dropped this on the free channel also for those that are there. So this was the movement. This was the movement, guys. So it actually just dropped down towards per class spot. After that, we just had to catch in some more pips, right? Because remember, this was actually the highest level. And so if it drops down towards per class spot, we can easily just catch some more pips towards per class zone again, right? So it's actually just a fair deal, right? So that was supposed to be the second wave, and then this was supposed to be the third wave, right? So this was the second wave, right? So just like I dropped it, second wave, you can second wave at around this per class spot. That was what we're expecting. And so after that, now we're fully riding in the second wave. So I was expecting that everyone that wants to catch the second wave can also storm into some more trades. I just didn't really specify it there, but I just felt maybe guys should actually understand that. But then that was actually for December 17th, and then I actually shared all of these trades that I'm showing you now on our free channel. Also, now I actually dropped this particular analysis of US30 on December 12th, and of course this particular stuff was supposed to be a normal smooth sell because I already mapped out all the resistance levels around this region. So I was just expecting guys to actually just storm into this trade. The reason why we didn't go into this particular trade was just because of we already had some running trades, right, and the rest. So there was actually no need to storm into some more to just protect capitals of traders around that region. So for those that were not in the trade, because there are actually more people here, right, in the free channel, so I actually just dropped it there for those that possibly don't have trades running at about that time, right? So I actually just dropped that layout at about that region. So after that, so this was actually for December 13th. This trade was actually dropped there fully. That's the NASDAQ, which you saw just now on our private channel. I actually dropped that also here so that guys can actually just storm into this particular trade also. And so for December 16th also, I actually dropped that also. Yeah, I shared that NASDAQ trade here also, right? And then actually stated everything. Yeah, right. We hold for, okay, so that for the re-entry, I actually dropped the stated about the re-entry here for our gold. And then I actually dropped when take profit 1 and 2 because I shared this trade when take profit 1 was hit just now, right? You saw that, right? So this was it. So when take profit 1 and 2 was hit, because guys would have joined this trade at about this region, so they were seeing this trade at about this region, right? Remember? And so if they joined, they will all be in nice profit. That was what I stated there. And then this was now the re-entry. And then for December 17th, I also dropped update here for day 2 of storming NASDAQ, right? You can literally see it. I actually stated the second wave also. That's those that actually want to join the second wave. And then this was actually it when the second wave started, when it started pushing up smoothly. Remember, we stormed into this trade at about this region, and then it started pushing up smoothly at about this region. So those on the free, they will also join the trade, right? Just like those on the private channel, right? Even though I had to drop it first on the private channel, of course, but I also shared it here so that everyone can actually cash out. And then after that, what we actually had was it just kept pushing up, right? You can literally see that, right? So now we are fully riding the second wave, right? So that was actually it. So over 24 hours of hold already. So we are holding this trade already for over 24 hours. And so that was it, guys. So if you joined, you will be massive profits because this was actually the stuff. This was where it was dropped, this was the movement, and then this became the movement later, right? So this was actually just a really smooth trade. Okay guys, so this was actually December 18th, that's XAUUSD gold buy push. So this was actually the trade that was actually dropped, right? Just this trade at about the spot. This was the buy push trade, and then this was actually all our take profit and SL levels, right? So this was actually what was dropped. Now, even though this trade was actually very tricky, I'm going to tell you exactly why now, right? The trade was actually very tricky. Because of that, I actually just had to give like a 1-to-1. This was almost a 1-to-1 trade, right? 1:1. Okay, just approximately 2:1, right? Trade, right? Because the trade was actually very tricky. The reason is because there was actually a formulation of a build-up at around this region. We joined this trade at about the spot. Don't forget, right? So it was not looking like build-up was forming. Let me just show you that again. Look at it. So it was not looking like a build-up was forming at about the spot, right? At around this range. It was not looking like that. Now, because of that, I actually just had to give the trade, drop the trade in a way that even if the build-up forms, we can at least hit one take profit, right? We can at least hit one take profit, even if it gets to that point. But if it doesn't get there, of course, all our take profit will be smashed. We won't lock in, and then we hit the trade through to around this region, right? But then this was actually just like a protection system, right? Just a risk management system, right? To make sure that even if it comes to the worst, we are actually still safe, right? So this particular stop actually just pushed up smooth like that, and then it actually just smashed our first take profit. Our second take profit wasn't really smashed, right? So it's actually just hit only a first take profit, right, at around that region. And then after that, it actually just started dropping down. So that what we actually had here, let me just show you that. So smooth tip 1 that damaged, tip 1 that fully grabbed a few minutes ago. Even though this stop actually still kept playing around, pushing up on the rest, because of that, we actually just held the trade for some time before it finally dropped down like that. So that now on December 19th, which is actually when this particular video is actually being recorded, December 19th. Now we actually stumped into some trades also on a gold. So this is the trade that is running currently as we're speaking, like currently, right? And then this particular trade, of course, I dropped it also in the free channel after our first take profit was hit, because look at it, guys. So how we went into this trade was actually very simple. In looking at this stop, I guess you already know, right? So we're stumping into buys, and then this particular stop actually broke out for a major retracement. You can literally see it, right? That was what happened here after a build up. Remember, we had a build up. After that, it dropped down, right? After that, it pushed back up to this particular region to give you a normal standard retest, right? So why should we buy again? There's no need to buy again, right? Because of that, we can easily just start catching out on normal sales, right? So that if you want to map out the trend line, because the trend line is already visible here, but if you want to map it out, you can easily map it out here, and then you should see when it broke out, and you should see when the retest actually got formed just about this region also, right? So after that, we noticed that this particular stop just started dropping down to about this spot. I waited for it to drop around waited for it to drop around our second step at about this region. After dropping around our second step, I saw that a build-up was starting to form, so there was really no need waiting again. So we just had to stomp into this particular trade smoothly like that. Right now, in stomping into this particular trade, what did we have now? We had that our first take profit has already been smashed just around this region. I guess our first take profit was smashed just around this region. This is exactly what we actually have. Now the chart currently is frozen because, well, the market is closed for the meantime. It will open fully again later, because it's actually kind of like really late now on GMT +3, right? So yeah, so that's exactly what's happening currently at about this spot. Every single person is actually on this trade also on our free channel. So let me just actually continue from December 18th. You can actually see that all of these trades were actually shared here when TP1 was actually hit, right? Everything was actually shared there. And so this was it also for today, right, which is actually December 19th. You can easily see that there, right? So I actually shared this trade there, mainly as the first take profit was actually hit, so that nobody is actually angry, guys. Of course, I actually dropped other easier methods that you can easily use on our previous videos. You can also check out those videos, but this was just a general analysis of what we're seeing before we stomp into this particular trade. That's including our take profit levels, our stop loss levels, how all our take profits were hit, and all the trades that we actually lost also. So far so good in the entire month, from beginning through to the end. We've lost one major trade, and that was actually on US30. The other trade which actually went not very well was actually on a gold, recovered that instantly, right? So just roughly we lost one trade, right? Technically that was exactly what happened. And so we are currently, let's say, roughly 3 weeks in December? You don't need to ask that in the comment section. If you want to join our free Telegram channel, the link is already down below, so you don't need to ask how you can join the free Telegram channel. The link is already down below. I will also try pinning it in our comment section there, so I can also try pinning it there, so you can easily just join our free Telegram channel anytime you want. Just remember guys, for every single video that can hit over 1,000 likes within 24 hours, I'll be coming back to this particular video, running through the comment section, and I'll be selecting 3 random traders that will be funding $3,000 each, just like that. And we are almost hitting 100,000 subscribers. So if you're new to this YouTube channel, just remember to hit the subscription button, hit the like button, and also remember to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos I'll be dropping out from this place. So that just says Spaka Super Chalico guys. So bye from guys. I'm Mr. P. Peace.